should be live. I'm going to put the tweet in the broadcast alert so everyone can retweet it.
Will do.
Boom.
Ooh, I see it. It's working. Unlike my reclaimer.
Thank you.
Let me see. Good to hear. Let's hope your execution matches your enthusiasm. I've got a job for you if you're looking to keep busy. Here are the details.
Okay, we're going live in about 20 seconds. Hello and welcome to another episode of Soul Citizen. This is episode 86, and our topic today is the Cine-Makers. Along with me, I'm Fastcart FC. Along with me is my co-host JadeStarwatchr. How are you doing, Jade?
I'm doing awesome.
Cool. And just to get started, I'm going to introduce our guest today. We have Roger from Barely Not Monkeys production. But they produce Adrift. Rex and Nettie from Elite Expeditionary, they produce Overclocked. Grim or Starjump, they produce the Aegis 2951, and Andres from Zark Media, they produce Lorville. We'll be showing the videos in entirely as we go along. So how is everybody doing?
Great.
Doing good.
Great.
Glad to be here.
Fantastic.
Love your podcast and streams.
Thank you. We've highlighted your videos on our Thursday show on Soul Talk, and each one received extremely positive critiques and reviews. One of the observations was that your work had a perfect blend of writing, visuals, music, and sound design. And you know, it really like it seems like the every time I watch one, it seems to increase up the bar or ante for what you're expecting in Machinima. Would you agree, Jade?
Absolutely. When I think about like where Machinima was, when I got into the game in late 2016 and where it is now, it's light years ahead. And what we saw back then was amazing, but they have definitely raised the bar, everybody that's here tonight.
Cool.
Thanks.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
So before we get into each of the individual videos, I want to ask each of you a couple of questions. So the first one, I'll go to Zark Media. Do you have any formal backgrounds and studies in any of these disciplines for when it comes to making Machinima? And if yes, where did you learn it? If not, what inspired you to learn it?
No formal background, no. I have been. I'm 36 years old now, I think. Yes, and since I was 19, me and a group of friends have been doing. We've been doing improv, so acting like improvisational acting, where you have to make up a story as you go, and I feel I can use that quite a lot actually when making videos, especially when I make the character Oliver. He has like a little vlog series where he he does little social media vlogs from around the verse, and I can really use improv in those situations to, like, if I mess up, I can just change the story along as I go. And yeah, editing and cutting I couldn't do at all 2 years ago, so that's just been a lot of watching YouTube tutorials and yeah.
2 years, nice. Okay, so Roger from Building Up Monkey, same question to you. Do you have any formal background or studies in these disciplines? If yes, where did you learn it? If not, what inspired you to learn it?
Do you mind if I, I'm
Paige.
off camera as well, but for Adrift, yes, audio design for I don't know, 7 years or so, and then got into video editing and working in editing for about 7 years. Well, more like 10 years now. Gosh, I'm getting old.
Myself, no,
Yeah, go
I'm the
ahead.
writer for Adrift. I haven't had any, I would say, professional experience, but I've done just a lot of writing over the years for various contests and competitions and things like that, and fun stuff. But this is the first time I'm really seriously writing anything like a machinima at this scale.
I made a mistake, everyone. I forgot to go through each one. So we have Roger and Fifth for Adrift from Barely That Monkey. We have Rex and Nettie from Elite Expeditionary. Sorry about that.
Oh, that's okay. Yeah, I'm Roger. That's Tage, who's bushwicked, I think.
Yeah. Hi.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so did you want to continue on for the question, or did you cover it?
I think we covered it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're good. Thanks.
All right, so Starjump, Graham, I believe it's just Graham on this, but we have 8 people. So I believe it's just Graham, right?
Yep, just Graham, or you
Okay.
can call me Starjump. Yeah, either way.
Okay. So do you have any formal
yeah.
backgrounds? And go ahead.
Yeah, I've worked in film and television for like 20 years. I've worked on everything from TV shows to full-length feature film, like Hollywood feature films, to independent films, both big and small. So it's probably a lot of stuff you've heard of, and probably a lot of stuff you haven't heard of, and probably should never heard of because some of it's terrible. But yeah, quite a bit of training there. Most of my training though is from a sort of an art director standpoint. So handle a lot of design and whatnot and visual effects, but I do a little bit of 3D and I do a little bit of animation, obviously, which is what we see in the Starjump work. So yeah, I have a lot of disciplines actually. Over the years, I just try to pick up more and more skill sets. I originally went to school though for audio, so I went to college as like an audio engineer, audio designer. So.
And before we move on, I just want to say thank you for letting us borrow your Endeavor work that we use on our Endeavor show. And your Endeavor show was awesome. So we hope people check them out for that, as well as everything else that we're showing tonight.
Yeah,
So you.
no worries. I mean, one of the things that Starjump for sure with us is the stuff we create. We like sharing it, we're working on a fleet viewer as well, and it's all about kind of getting it into other people's hands to do their own stuff with. So
from Expeditionary, we have Rex and Nettie. So the same question for you two. Do you have any formal education or background studies in any of these disciplines? Or if yes, where did you learn it? If not, what inspired you to learn it?
Specifically when it comes to Natronics, he's the one that actually, he was the mastermind behind the entire project. He put everything together, gave me all my lines. I know that he works professionally as an MFA in production. I think it was the University of Southern California in the cinematic arts. So he's an actual professional. When it comes specifically to my voice acting, I just started doing things like this with Natronics and my friend Nettie.
Okay, thank you. Jade, you want to take the second question?
Sure, absolutely. So this question is one that I've been personally curious about. Have you ever created cinematics or machinima for any other games, and if so, what?
Starting with Zark Media.
Yeah,
Do I have a short answer to this one? No. What really inspired me with Star Citizen was the VoIP, actually, or the FOIP, sorry. And I haven't seen that really this fleshed out in another game before. So yeah, this is the first game I do Machinima.
Okay. Would anyone else like to answer that?
Tage from Adrift. We actually, well, I'm not sure if you helped, Roger. Maybe you did, but we produced a short that was like a sniper, like battle for Counter-Strike. I believe
Counter-Strike.
it was like
that was you and me, Tage.
1.3 or one. It was a long time ago.
This
and
is
then,
this 2001, I think.
Yeah.
And we would take a screenshot, right, and just like cut out little pixels and move them around and stuff like that.
It was made in Flash, but that was I think that's our only. Well, we did some test things with PlanetSide too.
PlanetSide too, yeah, that was
fun. Yeah. But this is our first serious endeavor with it.
This is the first project we actually completed. You know.
Ooh.
Wow. Amazing stuff.
Not bad for me. Project.
Yeah, for me, it's been mostly just like podcasts and stuff in other games and other communities. For Arma 3, me and Ender, who's also in Starjump, we ran a podcast that was probably the most popular one in the community. We had the developers on quite a few times, including like the game director and stuff, and we were really tight with the Arma 3 developers before we moved over to Star Citizen. So.
That's awesome. I mean, there's definitely overlap between Arma and Star Citizen. Yeah.
Yep.
Got everyone for that question?
Same for Lead Expeditionary. Nate said he'd done some animation work before, but for the rest of us who participated, first time.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
So now I think we're going to go into watching the videos. First up, we have Adrift from Belly Not Monkey Production. So here we go.
Warning, suit malfunction. Warning, suit malfunction. Warning, suit malfunction. Stabilizers malfunction. Stabilizers malfunction. Thrusters malfunction. Warning, heart rate above suitable levels. Unable to divert power to life support. Warning, unable to divert power to life support. Initiating system restart.
I'm sorry, Dad.
This place. Darkness falls right into you. It never leaves a trace. Let's go, bro. Come on, go. Yeah. This is your part. Fighting.
You are killing me.
What? You like this song?
Yeah, I like it when they sing it.
I sing just like them.
No. And it's all you sing, this song. This song is it.
All right. I won't sing.
Oh my god.
Oh, it's good. Whoa, Pearl, throttle back.
This is faster. It'll cool down. It's fine.
I said pull it back. Now. Thank you. Can we at least pay for this ship before you blow it up?
At this rate, I'll never get to blow it up.
Ha ha, hardy har, aren't you hilarious?
I can't do this forever, Dad.
I know. Hey, that's my girl. Now let's vacuum up and get on to the next one.
At least I have an old windbag to keep me company.
Hey, Pearl. Shh, shh, shh.
What?
Clear the comms. You hear that?
Gross. Gross!
That's teriyaki.
Hey guys, I can show some hadronite on this surface.
Yeah? That's great.
Yeah, I'm going to hand extract.
I'll do it. You need a break.
What? No, you're up there in what? Your underwear just drinking hooch or something
I'm not
and just
drinking
singing
hooch.
away?
Wait, we have hooch?
I'm all geared up. I got it.
Hey, Pearl. You see the Sturtevant Nebula from there? It's brighter than normal. Absolutely beautiful.
Beautiful. Yeah. Yeah, that's real special. Oh shit. Oh shit.
Good morning, sunshine. While we wait for tea, can you please tell me why you had your beam cranked so high? Can you tell me why you ignore every safety protocol? Perhaps explain me why you don't just kill me now and save me the heart attack. We've experienced a critical rupture. Rapidly depressurizing.
Distress signal?
Don't have much time. Mayday. It's not far. Just outside the asteroid belt, less than an hour.
You'd better build them for our time.
Who raised you?
Quantum trap. Engage.
Look at that.
Whoa.
Ship, Starfarer, manufacturer, Musashi Industrial and Starflight Concern. Name, Hermes. Not listed in the Interplanetary Ship Registry.
Smugglers.
Illegal goods.
This may get interesting.
Please let this be interesting.
You ready to suit up? Pearl? Here we go. Scorch marks. Hull is blown to hell. This was no accident. Pirates, maybe.
Think there's any survivors?
Someone had to send that distress call.
Let's go see.
Wait.
Dad, come on.
Nah, you know better.
Eyes open, clear ahead. Use what you got, or end up dead.
Ready?
Let's go, dork.
Oxygen level at 60%. Oxygen.
Where is the crew?
So, if I get this thing started, do I get to keep it? I know how to weld.
Honey, Jesus Christ couldn't resurrect this mess.
Well, he was a carpenter. I'm a mechanic. Imagine me running trades in this bad boy. Ah!
And there's the first body. I'm on it. Wait, this guy's alive.
What?
He's breathing, but barely. His oxygen suit levels are out of whack and his power readings are almost zero. If I get him back to the Virginia fast, there's a chance I could stabilize him. You should come with me.
Someone needs to keep looking for survivors, and you know the medical stuff.
How's your oxygen? You were mining for a while.
I'm at like 80%.
Like 80%?
80%, all right? I'm good.
Fine. But you check the crew quarters, then get your ass back to the ship. Am I clear?
Crystal.
Contents: Parpitin, an experimental drug for nervous system conditions. Currently illegal in some systems. Approximate value: 200,000 UEC.
Holy.
You're in the cargo bay, aren't you?
No! Yes. Was looking for...
Survivors?
Yes, of course. What?
Now?
There could be survivors in the cargo bay.
Are there?
No.
Crew quarters, stat.
Hey, Dad. Still no bodies, but none of the escape pods have been ejected. This guy couldn't have been flying a rig this size alone, right?
It's an undocumented ship. It's not like he was following fleet protocol.
And how is he?
Stable, still unconscious. I think he'll be fine. What about you? How's your O2 level?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Hey, Pearl.
Yeah?
You want me to sing you a song?
No. No, don't you dare. Ah! Okay. I will hurry. I promise I will hurry if you just shut up.
It never leaves.
Thank you. Hey, Dad, I'm seeing scorch marks coming from inside the hole. Oh, Dad! They're dead. They're here. All of them, they're here. Dad? Dad! Dad, can you hear me? Dad! Can you hear me? Wait, Dad! Dad! Can you hear me? Dad!
Warning, thrusters malfunction. Thrusters malfunction. Stabilizers malfunction. Stabilizers malfunction. Warning, suit malfunction. Warning, suit malfunction.
muted.
We don't hear you, Fastcart.
Yes, my bad.
There you go.
Adrift is a Star Citizen Cinema 4-part miniseries, adriftseries.com. The visuals were captured and from a massive interactive video game that you can download and play right now. The game is called Star Citizen. The question I have for the Adrift makers is, what made you go with the father-daughter as lead actors?
That's on you, Roger.
Sure. I'm noticing my face is kind of really lagged. Is my voice seem pretty responsive?
It's pretty. I like it.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we really wanted a relationship, for this machinima, and we kind of wanted to bring it to a lower level than I think what Star Citizen is great at. Big fights, a lot of high adventure and high action. We kind of wanted to bring it down to something, lower, to the common man kind of thing. And we felt that if the father-daughter relationship of a girl who's been stuck on this mining rig for who knows how many years and is just ready for some adventure, ready for something higher, was a good place to start. And I think and that family tension, we felt was a great basis of storytelling. And then from there, we can launch the series, and we've got more coming where some of that higher adventure will be involved in.
I noticed that Star Citizen, or CIG, also is trying to bring some family dynamics into the game. With one of them commercials for I think it was the Rock DS. They had a mother reading a story to her son. So I think that's probably catching on.
Yeah, well, there's so much diversity with how open the world is and all the things you can do. So I think what's so awesome is that I think we'll get sort of a whole spectrum of small asteroid mining life, and high tension like Boba Fett bounty hunting kind of experience. So we're just kind of starting out.
I loved that about this video, by the way, because to me, videos like this, like these characters were believable right from the start. And I think part of that was because of the story and how you set it up. So yeah, more please.
Cool, thanks. We're working on it.
So the next question for the Adrift maker, they're the building up Monkey production, by the way. Can you talk a little bit of production of the work, but give us some behind the scenes for it?
Yeah, I wish I could show you some behind the scenes, but my computer's down right now, which is why I'm not on Face as well. But we kind of just approached it in I guess in sort of an animation production method, where we recorded, or we did scripting, and we did what's called an animatic, where we animate the storyboards and have the voice kind of like designed and in a good place before we started working in Star Citizen, because we wanted to have this like really relatable rhythm to the dialogue. And we just kind of you make that radio cut first, and then our process was to then work in the Star Citizen and shoot and reshoot to try to bring it all together.
Thank you. And last question for now is, when can we expect the next project?
We're saying, I think we're shooting for like the end of February. That's maybe ambitious, but we want to move faster than we did on the first time and kind of apply the lessons we learned from making part one. Unfortunately, we all have full-time jobs, and we're doing this part-time, and we're it's just a couple of family and friends. And I know the appetite because of Netflix and the like is like, okay, where's the next one? But we just hope people have patience to stick with us and see the story to the end, because it will be good, we hope.
So
yeah, a lot of work.
Go ahead.
I was gonna say, yeah, you could tell like a lot of work went into editing. I was just real curious. How many hours of editing did you do?
I didn't log it because that would probably make me crazy. But toward the end, I was kind of editing as fast as we were filming. And that kind of became part of the process because, I wanted to make sure that the scenes would work or the emotes would work. And especially because the conditions would change, like we would shoot, part of the scene on one night and then another on the other. And sometimes just like the light was wrong, and that's something you can't control shooting in a live environment. So we did a couple reshoots, and there was a lot of editing, but it's what I do in my job as well. So I just like work late nights, and I actually filmed and added I think 3 shots the morning before we published. So it's right up to the end.
Amazing.
Yeah, I think so much of the time was filming in the live environment, and probably everyone on this in the stream right now could attest to that the unexpected happens, right? You'll either get disconnected, or with us, we relied heavily on VoIP, and because of that, there were times where, especially if 2 people were talking in the same scene, one of them worked and one of them didn't, or you could not read someone else's VoIP. Like if I was filming myself, I could see my mouth move just great, but if Tage was filming me, it wasn't working, and so the amount of trying to get that to work was a large percentage of the time it took. And
lots of relogging.
Yeah. I think as the game keeps polishing, it'll just make us work even better.
Absolutely.
Fingers crossed.
I apologize for everyone I missed before, but I want to thank Galactic Enterprises for the raid. Thank you very much. And thank you for all the first-time subscribers and first-time followers and first-time chatters. I appreciate it. Thank you for your support. You're talking about when can we expect your next project? My thought is, it's a shame that everyone is used to the Netflix model where they just dump everything at once, like the whole season. You can't really expect that for Cine-Makers, right?
Yeah, I mean, I wish we could. I wish we could produce 4 episodes all at once, or 3, and then be producing the 4th so that we could release them in a quick order. But the technology changes so much also that we sort of we need to, I don't know, the technology changes, so we spacing them out like this is almost because the medical gameplay is totally changing. So we sort of have to re-strategize how we're going to keep everyone on set, or things like that.
Do you worry about the upcoming DNA face changes to your characters?
Yeah, sure. I mean, but we'll approximate as much as we can, and we have our spreadsheets and screenshots so that hopefully we can recreate them to a degree that it doesn't bother viewers.
Wonderful.
Thank you. And Matt, thank you for the 5 subscriptions. We appreciate it. Everyone who got one from us, say thank you to Matt. Okay, up next we have Overclocked from Elite Expeditionary. I'm going to read the blurb. It's by Natronics and EE Studios, or Elite Expeditionary Studios. This is the first episode in their original series, filmed entirely in-game with limited 2D VFX to enhance storytelling techniques. So we're going to go with that now.
Hello, no one is available to take your call. Please leave a message after the tone.
Ava, it's Nate. Look, I know you're on terminal leave right now, but I need to ask you a favor. It's a lucrative one if you'd only answer the phone. There's some very bad people about to do some very bad things, and I need someone like you, with your experience, to go make sure it doesn't happen. The lead is spread too thin with this pyro stuff, and Stan's security and all their wisdom can't handle it. So give me a call back. Please.
You're uglier than I thought. But I suppose that comes with the territory. Grifter says you've got more blood on your hands than a fat kid with a fistful of ice cream.
I need the money.
Yeah, that's what the last guy said. And then he tried taking a 5-fingered discount on the goods. Ended up with his head in a vice. Talk about ground beef, eh?
I do not waste time.
Alright, look. All you gotta do is head out to Reclamation and Disposal. Snatch a case of slam from one of our boys, the traders. Once you get the goods, haul them back here, and you'll get that payday you've been waiting for.
Very well.
One more thing. Our trader out there, he's a Fruit Loop, but he's been real good at getting us what we need when we need it. So make sure he makes it out of that place in one piece.
Set a course for airspace. Engines full power. Prepare for quantum nuke on my mark.
Here's another on the house. Looks like you could use it, no offense.
Thanks, but I gotta make a call first.
Ava, it's about time.
How much?
Name your price. After this, I won't ask for anything more. Promise.
I guess I could go for one last trigger pull. What is it this time? Another trespassing violation that Hurston's security can't seem to handle themselves?
Sort of. You in a secure spot?
Everyone here's drunk.
Look, we've got intel of a drug trade about to go down out at Reclamation and Disposal warrant on Hurston. Looks like one of Grifter's guys is playing for a rival gang, which, from what it's looking like, means they're working together now. We need to make sure that doesn't happen. Send everyone a message how it's gonna be if they want to go down that road.
How many?
2, maybe 3, but nothing you can't handle.
When?
As soon as you can get there. Deal's supposed to go down sometime tonight.
Not sure I'll be sober by then.
Not sure I need to know that. Look, I really appreciate this, Ava. Like I said, just name your price and I'll make it happen.
Nah, it's not about the money, boss. Never was.
Hey, what's good?
Eat a dick.
Corsair Actual, this is Ops. The airspace is clear.
Copy that. How long you guys on station tonight?
Gotta pull off once you arrive. Boss wants us on the pyro raid tonight.
Well, good luck with all that. Guess I'll give you my report in the morning.
Roger that, Corsair. Good luck tonight. Give a bell.
Forgot how much I hate this shithole. Well. Look what the cat dragged in. Let's get this party started.
anticipated. And you even brought a grenade launcher to the party. Where is the slam? Now, Mr. Robo-Man, there's no need to skip the foreplay. That certainly is a wonderful-looking grenade launcher, but it's distracting from my concentration. Very well. Oh, thank you. I can appreciate a man with self-control. Come with me and I'll show you the goods. You don't know how lonely it gets out here. No one to talk to, no one to have fun with. I don't have time for this. Where is the package? Oh, don't worry. You'll get it. I just want to know a little bit more about the man behind the mask. You have 3 seconds to show me the slam. 3. Oh, 3 seconds. I would have taken you for a 30. 2. I'll tell you what, if I take off my mask first, will you take off yours, 1. Oh, all right. You types are always so serious.
Like fish in a barrel. Sayonara, motherfucker.
Oh, business as usual. Damn it.
Yeah, keep running, asshole. Fuck. Goddamn whiskey. Come on, Ava. Come on, Ava, you fucked it up. Shit! Where the fuck is this asshole? Come on, where are you? Goddamn whiskey. Oh shit!
My turn.
Albatross, this is Reaper Actual. Airspace is clear, but we've got to break station soon.
Albatross, copy so. Should be an easy pickup, then we're out here.
Famous last words, Albatross.
Hey now, don't jinx us. Albatross, wheels down. Bulldog team cleared off.
Roger, Albatross. Bulldog team, on me. You know the drill. Keep an eye out on those junk piles. Scavenger gangs love to camp places like this. Bulldog team is last man, moving to package.
Bulldog Actual, 1 minute till Reaper team's got to break station.
Bulldog team has identified the body. Confirmed to KIA. Jesus, Ava. I should have never sent you alone like this.
Hey, boss. We're pretty exposed out here. Permission to push into a defensive sweep?
Yeah, boss. This place don't feel right.
We'll find whoever did this. I promise. Axel, carrier inside. All units, Bulldog team has the package. Moving for exfil.
Bulldog team, you're cleared aboard. Call last man.
Last man.
Wow. So good. Amazing.
Yeah.
Very cool.
It's great.
Thank you. Thank you.
So I have a few questions. Yeah, so you created 4 episodes of Overclocked. So people, this was just the first episode. If you've not seen this series, definitely go on YouTube, watch all of it. It's amazing. How many hours would you say you've invested in the Overclock project so far?
Okay, well, I know there's two different answers. One for Natronics, who's currently not here. He told me that he invested around 50 hours total, around 50 for each episode. And then I know for me personally, I worked about 5 hours, maybe 6 specifically on this episode, just for the voice act.
Wow. Amazing work. Absolutely amazing. Can you talk a little bit about the production of the work? If there's behind the scenes video or anything?
Yeah, we're running the behind the scenes video now.
Okay.
Breakdown sample 1.
Yeah, so what were your thoughts going into the production of this?
I know for Natronics, going into the production for it, he was actually really excited because he was getting over a month or so free time. And the longest time, he's just been working day after day. So this was, in his own words, kind of making sort of like an 80s style action cartoon inside of Star Citizen. He wanted it to be really serious, but not too serious. And he wanted it just to be fun and action filled and to really highlight all of the things that we really enjoy about the immersiveness of this game.
Well,
And then
yeah, mission accomplished. Sorry, continue.
I was going to say, and then personally, just for me, this was the first project that I was actually able to voice act a lot. And just, I had the biggest, funnest blast with it all the way. Even when I was arguing with myself in character, it was a lot of fun.
So was this your first voice acting project ever or just in Star Citizen?
Actually, no. This was just the first time I had been involved deeply in the episodes. I actually did 3 separate commercials on our website. Not just on our website, but also YouTube at Elite Expeditionary. Just commercials for the org, and then shortly afterwards, he came to me and asked me if he wanted me to be more involved in this series that he was calling Overclocked, and I was like, absolutely, I want more.
On the subject of voice acting, one of the things that struck me from the start with this was how close to the in-game voice of Wallace Clem. I don't know who did that voice, but that was so close to the Wallace Clem character that's in the game. Was that intentional?
I see. I don't hate me, Twitch, but I actually don't know who that is.
Okay, the guy, the kind of sketched out drug-looking guy, bald head. at the bottom
Yeah,
of the room.
so
that's Wallace Clem.
I had never heard his voice before. And I'm such a PvP nuthead when I play Star Citizen. I do nothing but bounties to make money, and because salvage is not a thing. So I've never been down there. And so he just said, just pick someone really dirty and gringy. And I said, obviously it's someone who digs through the dumpster to eat crayons. That's the kind of person who'd live down there.
It's amazing. That's so amazing that you got that close.
Yeah.
When you get a chance, definitely go down there and visit him. And by the way, he has lots of those packages that you can sell for 1,000 UEC, just letting you know.
Ooh.
When can we expect to see your next project?
I know right now, Nate has told me that the next season has already been planned out. It's just the issue of having the same block of time that he wants to invest in the next season as he did with this one, because he had so much free time and he was able to plan it out and push it out in a timely fashion that he wanted to. I know that immediately he's going to want to start working on sort of personalized stories for some of the characters until we can reach that big window of time to push out the next season.
Oh, that would be amazing. Yeah, like a deep dive into these characters. You've done really well at developing them so far, and I'd love to see that. So
Thank you.
yeah, very very much looking forward to it.
So right now I'm running the Overclocked background sample. Can you give us any information about these 2 videos? I have the first 2 samples.
Specifically, go ahead, Nettie.
I was going to say not so much about these specific scenes, but in terms of the filming process, Nate made a lot of use of the various people around in our org's Discord. There were around maybe 4 to 5, 6 actual voice parts in each episode. A little bit more in the later ones, but in terms of actual filming, it was just people who were around, people who were available, doing all of the non-speaking parts and flying the ships and running around and so on. And these sort of happened maybe 2 or 3 hours a day during the release cycle, and then Nate would spend around double that editing and coloring and doing the sound design and so on.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, good use of the lore of the Dusters.
Yeah, really
integrating
cool.
that into the story.
All of you do amazing work that I can never even hope to aspire to. So props to all of you. Thank you. So up next, go ahead. Okay.
Nope, go ahead.
Up next, we have Starjump Station, the Aegis Dynamics 2951 Cinematic. This is the full Aegis Dynamics 2951 Invictus Cinematic. So here we go. And we're back. That was from Aegis Dynamic.
My goodness.
I just want to point out we have a first-time chat from Crichton J. He says, "I don't know who makes better videos to sell SC better, CIG or the fans. It's really a toss-up. I think that's a high compliment to give our Cine-Makers. Jade, you had a response to them. You want to repeat what you said?
Yeah, it's a constant push pull between the two, and we're all better for it. I mean, we've seen this over the years. You know, Bulkheads does a video, CIG hires part of Bulkheads, then they start doing the cinematics on the cinematics team, and then another crew of Machinima-Makers, you know, then take their place, and it's just a constant push pull of raising the bar, and we're all better for it. I love it.
Agree.
Yeah, definitely.
So question for Graham and Starjump. Your videos for Drake and Aegis were well received by the Star Citizen community, and in some ways inspired backers to spend more money. Tell us about the community response to them.
Yeah, it's been good. I mean, the whole point behind the videos was to obviously, where Machinima, you get a chance to be very like story driven and narrative. The goal behind these cinematics was more to give people a way to you know, see their ships that they've pledged all this money for, or whatever, that they, you know, dream about owning in the future, and kind of see them in action beyond just, you know, the JPEGs we all know that you know, that we end up owning in our hangars sometimes for years. So in that regard, the fan reaction has been really great, because people are like, "Oh, it was cool to finally see this ship do something other than just sit in a piece of concept imagery." You know, that's been on the website for, you know, 5 years or whatever. And that was the goal with the Drake and the Aegis cinematic. Now, as I move into the future, we are going to start like doing some more story stuff and actual like narrative stuff, character stuff inside these cinematics. But, you know, at least up to now, it was kind of all about the ships.
Cool. So you're going to do more voice and flips too?
Yeah, but actually, the Drake cinematic had a VO recorded for it by a pretty well-known VO artist, and it was all done, and it was working and in there. And I think someone on the Adrift team talked about how like that morning they made some changes, you know, before they published. I think it was probably 2 hours before I pushed the Drake cinematic out. I ended up scrapping the VO completely and changing the audio and almost doing a complete re-edit in 2 hours. And it was mainly just because I kept having this voice in the back of my head telling me this isn't working. So it was probably a rash decision just to completely rip it out. But you know, going forward, we do want to get that type of stuff in there to make it feel a little bigger, and again, give you some sort of story to follow. I mean, there is a story in the Aegis cinematic, but it's really loose, and it's more just about a series of like events happening, you know, one after the other, more than a specific like narrative storyline that you're supposed to follow. So it's a lot of eye candy, but hopefully we'll change that moving forward.
Boogie Rex, thank you for the 100 bits. I wonder who that is. Thank you, Boogie Rex.
It's not me. Identity fraud.
Oh, okay.
I didn't do it.
So, Graham, can you tell us a bit about the production of the work?
Yeah, so the kind of all starts from getting the hollow models, and most of the stuff are hollow models from the website. The RSI website, when you go to a ship and you go down to the, you know, the hollow viewer, and you can see it populate up there, much like the ships you see in game and the, you know, in the hollow viewers at IAE and Invictus and stuff. It starts with those, and they come in kind of rough, and they have no textures on them or anything like that. And I work in a program called Cinema 4D, so I have to bring them, and that's kind of very unique platform to be working from where CIG is coming from, and how their ships are built for the engine. So I pretty much have to retexture everything from scratch and rebuild, you know, large parts of the ships from scratch, especially ships like the Endeavor and the Crucible and the Polaris and stuff like that. So I usually spend a long time getting the ships all built for a cinematic, which I think for the Aegis one, I think it was about 65 ships. And then I move into an animatic that was discussed by previous people on here, move into an animatic and I start kind of roughing it out. And usually I'll pick like a scratch track audio, example that maybe isn't like the final song, but is just something that has the tone. And then I just start animating, and it's just animating and animating and animating. It's a lot of animating. And as I'm animating stuff, as soon as I finish, I send it off to be rendered. Everything gets rendered on the cloud using cloud-based render farms. So I have to send it off to the cloud, and that may chug along for 2 hours or 18 hours or 65 hours or whatever per shot. And then as I'm animating new shots, I'm pulling down stuff that's been rendered and starting to composite that. And when I render stuff, everything's separated. So the stars in the background are a layer, the ship is a layer, and then all the shadows on the ship are a layer. So I have to bring all those layers in and sandwich them together and start, making it look halfway decent. All while trying to balance how much it costs to render the shots. So, because I'm not doing this in engine, I'm doing it in 3D software. So I have to render all that stuff, and the rendering isn't free. So there's a cost associated with that. So whenever I do a shot, I'm judging, how much is this going to cost and how much detail and fidelity do I put into it, to stay within my budget. Yeah.
After Saf, thank you for the gift job. Appreciate it. So, final question. Well, I have another question. How long did it take you to make this video, the Aegis Dynamics video?
Well, I've been asked that a lot, so I did some calculation. It was about 180 hours of actual work. It was essentially about 3 months. I'd usually do about 5 nights a week, and I'd do it for about 3 hours every night. I'd work on stuff. Sometimes more, sometimes less on any dependent week. So all total, about 180 to 200 hours. But it was about 4,000 hours of rendering, so it was a lot of rendering. Yeah. Going forward, I plan on using other solutions for that. Especially I'll be leveraging the Unreal Engine a lot for the next one. So
that makes sense.
The rendering will be free in that regard because it's a real-time engine. So
when can we expect your next project?
Well, we have a lot of projects in development. We have our Fleet Viewer project that we're working on, which will be for the community, so everyone can visualize their fleets using the cinematic assets, much like Starship 42. Only instead of hollow models that have some color on them, these will actually be the cinematic assets. You'll be able to build your own fleets and stuff. The good thing about that is that as I'm getting through all the ships for the Fleet Viewer, I'm finishing them all for cinematic works too, So. I am in pre-production on the RSI cinematic, and if I had to guess, I'm probably going to try to work it to be released during Invictus of next year, which is a longer production time than I've ever done, because usually about 3 months to make one. So this will be about 5 months, but the RSI cinematic is going to have a lot of stuff that's never really been seen before in my cinematic. So it'll have planetary surfaces. I'm going to have Titan suits. There's a whole Titan suit sequence in it. So stuff that people have never seen. So yeah.
Yeah, I can't wait for that. So you mentioned your other project, the Hanger Link. That's the other one, right?
Yeah, so that's a project we have. Starlet, one of the members of Starjump, she kind of made that, and it's for CCU chaining, but we're also building our Fleet Viewer into that. We're aiming to have the first release of the Fleet Viewer probably end of January, beginning of February. And then Starjump Ender, who's in chat, Ender's a longtime friend of mine. We've played tons of games together. We are working on a series called Starjump Chronicles, which is essentially just an umbrella name for machinimas that we're doing that are in game. Now we're going to kind of do some 3D visual effect and post-production work on them, but we're taking our time with the first one. It's one of Ender's stories, but we're taking our time with it because, as you've probably seen from the Overclocked and Adrift stuff, they're really, really hard to do is what we're learning, and they take a lot of time. How those guys can get control of the camera and game as well as they do is nothing short of amazing, not to mention all the FOIP challenges and stuff. So with Starjump Chronicles, we are working on it, but we're definitely taking our time with it and not rushing it. Obviously, the bar is set super high by all these content creators. So, we're just experimenting right now and recording and starting to do some editing and stuff. So yeah.
I'm not trying to put anyone on the spot here, but I think it might be a good idea to have like a Cine-Makers coalition or group or something like that.
Probably like a help group.
Yeah. to join to talk about this stuff and share ideas and
there are a lot of there's a lot of great Discord communities out there of like Star Citizen creators, but it kind of runs the gamut from 3D printing to, just working on ships to kit bashing and stuff. And there's a lot of great technical help out there. I definitely, one person I need to thank for these cinematics ever getting done is someone who goes by the name of VMXEO. He probably doesn't want me calling him out, but I did. He's building ways to get ship assets and stuff in a format that I can work with faster than what it would be doing all from scratch. So, big thanks to him. But there's a lot of people out there who are really willing to help on this stuff. So,
thank you for the subscription, local representative. Appreciate it. Just to remind people, we are taking viewer questions. If you click on the eclipse down below and click on the viewer questions, you can ask our guest a specific question. So that'll be saved until the end of this show. I just want to say, okay, so for next we're doing Zark Media. We're doing a visit to Lorville Metro Center. And you're doing Hurston Transport. They're getting 2 because they're relatively short. But the blurb for the visit to Lorville Metro Center, I had nothing better to do while waiting for Russell's next report than to visit Lorville Metro Center. This place is very unlike the CBD, where I've been since the start of my employment with HD Oliver. And for Hurston Transport, this is part 3 of Zark Media's story, A New Beginning, a multi-part video series following news anchor Oliver Zark, who's finding his way after leaving his former employee, the Hurston Broadcast Network. So we're gonna go with those 2.
Out here for a while now. Nothing's happened so far, just 2 Hurston security guys disembarking and started sweeping the area. Nothing else going on here, so this could be the story I'm looking for. I wonder who slipped a note. Hang on, are those miners exiting the ship? Looks like it, but there are no mines here.
Don't move.
Whoa. I'm Hurston personnel.
So am I, buddy.
Hang on. Big Pete, what are you doing here? You slipped a note on my door. What's going on?
You see those workers? They're employed on live labor contracts. Most Hurston people are, but even their contracts are not allowed to print.
How's that relevant?
Just wait.
What the hell? Why?
I don't know why, and I don't know how I help this is action. But I thought you should know what's going on.
Go grab another ship.
That's the extraction.
Extraction? What they have?
We can head back into the water.
Oh, I'm so confused. What's going on?
And we're back. You want to take over, Jade?
Absolutely. Wow. Now it's almost like that scene in the Matrix where like you realize what they really are, what's really going on. And for people who aren't familiar with the Hurston lore, that is the Hurston Dynamics lore right there. So Oliver, tell us why you picked Hurston of all planets to establish Stanton Today.
Well, after deciding that I wanted to do a FOIP news network or news channel, I started looking around for like a spot because I had no experience with making videos like this. You can see in the middle here, it's a little sneak peek of the next show that's coming. But back then, like 2 years ago, I had no experience whatsoever. So I wanted to find a spot that, for me at least, inspired like an environment for news, and I found it in the CBD, the Central Business District in Lorville, where there's I'm sure you've all seen it. You go to like this super fancy place in the Hurston Tower, and there are like big displays of statistics and prices of stuff, and it's like in the center, and so I used that as a backdrop for Stanton Today, or at least the first versions of Stanton Today before I learned how to do green screening in the game, or blue screening is what I do actually. So yeah, the first few episodes of Stanton Today were in the Hurston Central Business District. But then afterwards, because I had no idea, like I started playing this game 3 years ago, and you, Jade, you were actually one of the first people that I interviewed. I think that was for the second or so episode.
Yeah, I remember.
And you were like, "Are you posting to the community hub?" And I was like, "What's the community hub?" I had no idea about like about anything, including Hurston lore. So it was like I think it took like 6 months or something before I realized that these guys were actually not the good guys at all. But then I kept on doing Stanton Today, and for the last like 6 months or 12 months maybe, I started to like developing the story for Oliver. I mean, he's a person after all, and he could probably, that was a part of like his journey of discovering what Hurston actually does. So that's why I picked Hurston to begin with, and why I'm also moving away from it. And I also want to disconnect my machinimas from the lore, because you never know what the makers of the game CAG, what they do with the lore. I mean, in one patch, Hurston could I don't know, change their ways or anything like that. And if I establish a story where Oliver is like okay with Hurston and their ways, and Hurston changes, it's going to be hard to, at least for me, to follow along in that. So I want to disconnect him a little bit and make him more independent.
Yeah, I was going to ask about that because I've been following you, obviously, from that first or second interview, and just watching, you develop the Oliver Zark character, and all of what you've been doing is amazing. Seeing where you're going with it now, it's got me intrigued because you are now stepping away from what was a very like distinct brand. Does Stanton Today continue without being based at Hurston, or are you going to do another news program? Or I don't want you to break anything here if you don't want to, but I'm just
Yeah.
really curious about what the future is for Oliver Zark.
Oliver Zark is primarily a news reporter, and even though he leaves Hurston, the YouTube channel is called Zark Media because Hurston Dynamics have employed Zark Media to do their news show. So Stanton Today it stays on Hurston, and Oliver has to come up with something else on his own.
Okay.
Real quick,
sorry, go ahead.
real quick, Jade. I just want to say thank you to His Divine Shadow for giving us sub to Driz. So thank you, His Divine Shadow. Appreciate that. Go ahead.
Thank you. Will there still be a Stanton Today as well as what Oliver does?
I mean, he doesn't take it with him.
Okay.
And the story is actually going on now. It's 14 episodes, so it's an episode every day for 2 weeks. And I think today we are on episode 7. But you will have your question answered about what happens to Stanton Today within a few days.
Amazing. Intrigued, and I can't wait. Can you talk a bit about sorry, go ahead. Yeah, I was wondering if you could talk a bit about the production of the work you're showing right there. What goes into it? I mean, I know a ton of work goes into this. Could you talk a little bit about what we're seeing here?
Yeah, definitely. There are lots of different things, but basically what I put together in this video is the transition from filming Oliver in a hangar in Microtech, where I found a spot where the background is pretty evenly blue. So I can, in Premiere, I cut that background out and I move him into what was up until recently the studio for Stanton Today. And I recently learned how to do it in Unreal Engine. So that's what you see here at the end, and that's the next project, or what this will culminate in, or to. I'm not an English speaker, so yeah, I don't know how to say
for
that.
not being an English speaker, you do like amazing. I would never have known.
I agree.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Okay. All right. Great.
And I feel kind of funny asking this next question because I kind of know a little bit of the answer. When can we expect to see your next project? And maybe you could tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, definitely. The storyline that's going on right now, it will end in 7 or 8 days, and the last episode will like hint or show a little teaser of what's to come, and then the actual new news show is gonna come out in January. So I'm gonna have a little bit of a holiday break.
Would that holiday break perhaps take you to New Babbage?
Oh, right, that project.
Yeah.
we were filming a Luminalia video earlier today, and you were in it, Jade.
Yeah.
That was amazing.
Thank you. Thanks for inviting me.
It's 3 a.m. here, so I'm a little bit mushy in my brain. So
No worries.
so that's why. But yeah, I was super excited, so I wouldn't be able to sleep anyways. But the Luminalia video will come out, I think, around the 20th or 22nd. Luminalia, the holiday Luminalia in the lore, starts on the 22nd, and you celebrate for 3 days. and you celebrate an old Banu tradition where you light certain traditional lights and you put them outside your ships or your homes to signal to people passing by that you're opening up your home to them, and they're part of your organization, or your Suli, it's called in Banu. So we did a video celebrating Luminalia with a lot of different human orcs instead of Banu Suli. So that will come out around the 20th.
Well, my Suli is your Suli. So I was very happy to be invited along, and I know that video is going to be amazing just from what I saw. So do look forward to that, everyone. When it's out, it's going to be amazing. Over to you, Fastcart.
Thank you. So we have some viewer questions on our way. So his Divine Shadow asks, has Cloud Imperium approached any of you, and have they offered assistance or encouraged you in any way? Anyone can take that.
You know, they actually came to me to be the new voice of Jimmy, with Mr. McCleary, and I told them very politely, no, I can't do it. Not until I get my working reclaimer arm and some salvage. And by the way, just Starjump, I love you, man. Grim.
Thanks, brother.
Seeing that arm worked was the happiest day of my life. I really enjoyed it.
Well, I appreciate it. That's what it's all about, is making those ships work. I can say that I have been contacted by CIG a couple times by different people within the organization. Most of the time it's to offer encouragement and say they really like what I'm doing and to keep doing it. And they ask the same questions, what's the next one going to be, and this and that. I've had a couple people specifically reach out on specific aspects of the cinematics. For example, someone that worked on some of the jump gates and stuff had reached out and said, wow, the jump gate looks really close to what we're building, and we kind of went back and forth a little bit, and just on how I was able to pull reference from them, because essentially I just bring up concept art and try to copy it in a little bit of a lo-fi way, but still copy it. And so that was great encouragement. And yeah, just in general, the CIG has been very supportive and really great about it.
Cool. Anyone else?
My answer is pretty short. No. Haven't heard anything.
Not yet. No, the answer is not yet. That's what it is.
Yeah, that's
not
the right
yet,
answer.
exactly.
I'm pretty sure they're going to contact Zark, and he's going to be the one that actually covers the presidential elections in the future.
Yeah, or the
That'd be cool.
Daymar rally. Now that that's
Yeah.
official.
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, yeah, it's official lore. That's really cool.
Yeah, so I just want to remind everyone and watching, if you click on the clip down below, you can ask a question of our guy. Our next question comes from his Divine Shadow again. Do any of you hope to be able to produce content in game when it becomes possible, with things like the news van, Reliant Mako, or maybe camera drones, etc.?
I'll jump in on that quickly, even though news vans are very relevant to you, Zark. And just to say that I love shooting in game, and I love the idea of creating things like in the game. And as soon as there's any functionality or things that we can use, we're on it, and that's kind of how we see it.
Anyone else? News fan, or you hope to produce content in game when it becomes possible?
Yeah, for sure. That's like my main goal. I will keep doing this until I see my show on one of the screens in game. Definitely.
Great to hear.
Yeah, they promised it, and I'm gonna cash in on that promise.
Okay.
Definitely. But I mean, it's like the perfect game for bringing community content inside of it and putting it on screens, and yeah, I can't see how I could not want to do that.
Yeah, I think after the CitizenCon, this past CitizenCon, where they featured commercials made by the community, I think that shows what their intent is for the future. So fingers crossed, we'll see you on a big screen.
Jade, can you ask
Yeah.
the first of the group question, please?
Yeah, absolutely. Tell us your favorite or most inspiring Star Citizen cinematic or machinima you've ever seen.
They're all here.
Agreed.
I mean, yeah, that pretty much
Honestly.
answers the question.
Yeah.
I could speak
Hard
for
Space
Natron.
is great. Sorry, I just want to throw that out there.
Yeah.
Exact same answer.
Agreed.
Nate has talked about Hard Space and endlessly.
Yes.
There was a lot of inspiration there for Natronics, especially in terms of how offbeat it was. It was something that he hadn't seen in Machinima before, and it really inspired him to sort of push things in his own way.
And tell us who that is again, please.
Hard Space.
Okay.
Yeah. Sonic Temple.
Yeah,
Okay.
Sonic Temple's right.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a very
Any-
good unit.
Anyone else? What is your favorite inspiring Star Citizen cinematic or machinima?
Well,
I can't say. Oh,
Go
sorry.
ahead, Zark.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Zark.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right. For me, I just wanted to drop it here because it's something that benefited me very much. It's not Machinima, but there's a guy called DG360 who I think I owe my half of my subscriber base to, because I think he looks a lot at Machinima and other Star Citizen content, and has quite a sizable base of subscribers. And when he started looking at my stuff, that's when it skyrocketed for at least a little while. So DG, if you see this, keep looking at my stuff.
Amen.
But
Yeah, I agree. He did the same for me. He did the same for me, really pushing my content early on when I only had like 200 views or something like that. I think he even said when he was watching my video and said, "Why does this guy only have 200 views?" So big, and everyone out there that supports us is really great. So,
and I just want to say also, I think Zark Media, because if I may, it's sort of like executing a concept that just, I think, shows, what can be done, and you're like stepping out and taking all the work on, and I think like it just helps everyone else imagine, beyond, the content is great, but also just sort of like what we're going to be able to do, or what you can do, or what can be done. So, I see you do like the cell phone video, like while you're walking, and I'm just like, yes, exactly. So I love it.
Thank you.
and I personally, I hope to, it's official, it's not fan created, but I did really enjoy CIG's The Reunion spots they did, and I hope they do more of that stuff. Obviously they do great ship commercials, but I thought that the Reunion two-parter they did was really cool, and that it really brought some story and character into things. So I'd love to see them do more of that. That was pretty inspiring.
Just shoot it in the live game.
Yeah.
What was that, Jade?
Oh yeah, I love the reunion. I've seen a lot of people. There were people mentioning it in chat tonight as well. So love to see that become like its own series. So yes.
Just from what I've heard from people inside CIG, it seems like that was something that the team in there that put that together, they were really passionate about it and had a lot of fun making it, because again, it was something a little different.
You can tell.
Much like the Jax spots. Even the Jax McCleary stuff at this year's IAE seemed to go a little further into like storytelling with some weight. So that was cool to see. Hopefully they're getting to do more of that.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Anyone else before we move on to the next question?
Yeah, I'll try to keep this quick. But kind of going back to the answer that someone gave before, yeah, it's pretty much everyone in here. But it's all for specific reasons. For me personally, like for Zark, I really resonate with your media, the way that you portray sort of the first person perspective and the voice acting. I love it. Barely Not Monkeys. I love your creative style. Starjump, your 3D modeling, compiling inspires the imagination of what we want these ships to do, what we think of them doing. And then for Overclocked, the one that I worked on, it actually allowed me to form my own headcanon to get even more immersed in the universe that we're trying to create. And we just feed off of each other. And eventually, I know it will just get better and better and better, like a
Hear,
snowball down a hill.
Yeah, definitely.
Mm.
Yeah,
Same.
absolutely.
All right, for the next question, what can CIG do to the camera mode that can make your job easier? I'll start with Elite Expeditionary. What can CIG do to the camera mode to make your job easier?
I don't know about you, Nettie, but I have been told on multiple occasions from Nate, he wants him to stop getting the camera stuck on the goddamn rocks and terrain when he's moving around.
Yeah.
Because he'll tell me, he's like, Boogie, I'm filming, the camera's like 200 feet in the air and it gets stuck on a rock. I hate it. I'm like, I know, Nate. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that was one of the probably the biggest time.
There's so many things.
Oh, have the camera, or at least have a camera mode that doesn't interact with the physical world. That would be a lifesaver. Nate has talked as well about having some sort of creators mode where we could control a little bit of the date, time of day, and lighting and stuff like that. I don't know if they would consider that with their vision, but it's something that he would have appreciated a lot, working in some of the areas that had really short day cycles and stuff like that.
True depth of field would be great.
Yeah.
Oh, good one. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that is a good one.
Graham, do you have any ideas for or suggestions for CIG to make your job easier?
Well, while I've only really done a lot of the in-game stuff recently, as we're messing around with this Chronicles project, which is our in-game machinima stuff, I just echo what everyone else said. Make a little bit better camera controls, maybe some sort of camera control that doesn't interact with the world around you. In terms of those collision surfaces and stuff. Just recently we tried to shoot something that was in a tight hallway with someone right up against it. Was so difficult, and I think we gave up. I don't even know. I think we're going to rethink that shot.
Yeah.
But just stuff like that. Yeah, I mean, for the 3D stuff that I do, the out of game 3D cinematic stuff, I think it's already pretty cool that CIG has the hollow models available. I mean, it would be great if they made them available with the textures, because that would save a lot of work. But no, it's just probably the in-game camera stuff, making those controls a little easier.
I think there's also bigger, I mean, for me anyway, shooting in game, like the positional information and the fidelity of like where a character is looking, like especially if you're trying to light things, there's like jitter, and there's other technological things that I think would actually make shooting much better that aren't actually the camera, although I would love for the camera to improve. But like you can't, a character can't even walk straight. Like every 2 steps they do this like dip to the side. Right. There's other things that as a filmmaker I hope get better even more so than the cammer.
Yeah,
although I think we could have a whole
that.
therapy session about the camera, I'm sure.
I was going to ask about beyond the camera, what would be the one thing that if you could tomorrow have CIG change it to make your life easier or your shots better, what would it be?
I'll say selfishly, the headlamp on the helmet that we used to light the face, and it no longer does. And it's going to be like, it's like a huge pain in the ass that they changed that. But that's all I'll say.
I have a list of things that I want to add to the camera mode. First of all, I would very much need a green screen somewhere in the game with proper lighting. And I mean, you could place things in the world, so maybe like a little tripod spotlight or something that I could place on a table or on the floor and shine it wherever I need it. But for the camera mode, I desperately need to be able to release it from the point of interest and be like, camera, sit here, and I can move my character about and not worry about the camera following my rotation or my movement. And I saw someone in chat pointing out that could be, from a competitive standpoint, that could be a problem. But they have in Elite Dangerous, they have a mode where you can release the camera from the ship, but you can only do it for a certain amount of distance. So when the ship moves like 20 meters away, the camera is like, oh, no more than 20 meters from the ship, and it like follows along with the ship. So that would be my that's what I would want added to the
One
camera.
of our biggest pains with Barely Not Monkeys Adrift was we need a lot of grouping mechanics, and so getting on the same server, because our filming was very mission specific. And so when we couldn't find certain particular missions in the right place at the right time of a planet's rotation or something, we had to, log on different servers to see who can find the mission, right? Who can find the location, I guess as it was. And when someone found it, it's like, okay, everyone hurry, get on the server. And it's full. And it would take so long for to get in to the server. And so even a simple queuing mechanism where you could say, I want in this server, it's fine. I'll walk away 10 minutes and in 10 minutes I can be logged in the server or something like that would be great. But you have to sit there and click the button and click the button and click the button and hope that you're the next one that gets in because someone else gets in. And boy, had to be 4 or 5 of us in on the same time, that was maddening.
Yeah, and like 3 of those are already in position, and you don't want to take those out into the main menu to get in again. Yeah.
I could probably say that, and I'm probably the least in here that should even be talking about this, but in my limited experience in game at this point, trying to film Machinima, I hope that they continue to iterate and improve the FOIP functionality. I know CIG sometimes will get something to a certain state and then it kind of goes on ice for a while they work on tons of other stuff. The FOIP, though, I hope that it doesn't drop off for, extensive periods of time, and they kind of hopefully, at least every year, try to improve it little by little so that it gets better and better because we just were having tons of issues with it, tons of issues getting it to not go completely ridiculous or work at all. So, that's yeah.
I have a question. Which patch was that happening in? Because I'm trying to document it, whether it's getting any better, because we were testing it at IAE and it seemed to be a little bit better.
It was probably before. It was definitely before IAE. It was probably a patch or 2 before IAE that we were messing with it, and it was
3.13 was a patch that changed a lot of FOIP functionality.
Could have been before that, and other things, just like figuring out. And this is probably user error, but just figuring out like how much light do you need on the face? Do we need to get people with no beards? To be able. We don't know. We're still trying to learn the FOIP. Magic sauce that will give you the best results. So
I would shave and put lip liner on so that it would track my lips more closely. And also another trick I think I have discovered, which we're going to implement. I have a 60 frame camera, the Logi one, and it has a lot of lip jitter. Like if you're just sitting there trying with your mouth closed, it's just like it's really frustrating. But a 30 frame camera has way less of that. So depending on the scene, and you can just switch on the Logi. If you have a 60 frame, you can just switch from 60 to 30. If you down the frame, you get like way less lip jitter. So we're going to be digging into that for our part 2.
Which Logi?
Cool.
If you don't know yet.
It's a little square one. I wish I remembered off the top of my head. I got it like 2 years ago.
I just bought a Brio 4K 60, but I noticed that I have to like push a lot of light to my face to get it to
that's the problem with these.
Yes, but also not too much light. I think you want like a little shadow. So you kind of want like a quarter front light, I've found.
Yeah, you want your face to be defined. And I will say that the lip liner thing, absolutely genius. I use it anytime I do FOIP. It works perfectly.
I forget I have it on and I'd walk in.
Nobody can see your real face. And
Yeah.
So
I forget I have it on and walk in on my wife, and she just burst out laughing. I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. I have lip liner.
You see,
this brings out an important two questions. Do you prefer gloss or matte? And then the
Matte.
second question is, what's your favorite flavor?
Dr. Pepper.
Ooh.
His Divine Shadow, thank you for the sub. Yes, I just bought, well, not just bought, but like 6 months ago, I bought the Razer TO Pro, for the 4K version, and I really like the fidelity rank of it, and it's much improvement of my 10-year-old Logitech 910. But yes, the high quality cameras, or just any camera, especially for work like podcasting and stuff like you're doing, requires a lot of light. So yeah.
I have the exact same experience. I upgraded my camera but downgraded my quality with the same purchase. Waste
Was
of
it the
money.
60 frame?
Yeah, exactly. I bought a Logitech as well. It was like marketed as a streamer camera, and it had 60 frames on 720p, and 720p was what I used before as well, but on 30 frames on a way cheaper camera. And my face is just
I think if you're talking and looking around, 60 is great, but as soon as your character tries to do like subtle things or like not speak, the 30 is better.
Yeah, in my experience, 30 is the best. In all scenarios, for me at least.
Yeah, it does more filling, I believe, like approximating where the position is.
Since we're on the subject of technical tips, can you give one technical tip to aspiring creators interested in making Machinima?
Yes. The audio that you record, try to record that separately from your video. Because when you sync audio and video, because the VoIP takes a few, like 10 or 12 frames to actually sync with your movement in your face. So if you don't sync up the audio and video, if you have it recorded separately, the mouth is going to look like it's lagging.
Well, plus performance-wise, I think like you'll get a much better performance if you're not having to worry about your face freaking out or like the eyes not tracking right or your lips going awkward. So I think you want to record your voice in an environment where you can like get good performance and then worry about secondarily getting the VoIP to look good on top. And then you do all the tweaking in the edit.
Yeah. And if you have like a good shot, but the audio for some reason, if you pop your lips or if you, I don't know, burp in the middle of the thing, you can still use the shot if it's recorded separately. You can, and like do another audio shoot afterwards. And vice versa.
Okay. For the last question, in the past we discussed CIG finding a way for videos made by the community to be used within the Star Citizen universe. In what ways would we like to see community-made videos incorporated into the game? Let's go in order. Let's start with Zark Media.
In what ways? Well, I mean, it's the screens for me. I would very much like to have my content on a screen in the game. Maybe if they could flesh out the spectrum more, to be more integrated. But I know they've said that that's the plan, and it's gonna come when it's coming.
Barely Not Monkey production.
Yeah, I think GTA 5 is basically the model, I imagine. Like, especially with the travel taking real time, like, you know, and in the dream scenario, Adrift would be a like kind of what you call it, like lore series that existed, like that people knew about in the verse, and you know there'd be a poster on the wall when the next episode's coming out. Pipe dream. But you could like flip through community content like on a channel on your TV while you're traveling, and for it to exist in the world in that way, I think would be super dope.
I agree.
Yeah, pretty much this exact same as that for me. I would love, how we see things in game like the screens all over stations, but even like you'll see, video game, arcade cabinets and stuff in some locations. It would be cool if you could have, on those monitors in your ships or in like the bars and certain space stations, like the G-Lock bar and stuff up on that TV. If community stuff that was submitted could get streamed through there, but obviously understanding that content would have to flow through some sort of, approval process on CIG's end. I mean, I think the stuff they did for IAE was a good example of that. They did, put some parameters on what you could submit. I think I didn't end up submitting for it, but I think it had to be, an in fiction, commercial or some sort of, they put some parameters on that. But maybe if they did that and had some sort of approval process for it, it would be cool if that stuff would play, in and about the world.
Thank you, Elite Expeditionary.
I love that idea. Something I really loved about Elite Dangerous that hasn't really hit Star Citizen yet was while you're traveling, you could look at the news, the in-lore news that was happening, and listen to it while you're traveling around, and it was really, really detailed. I'd love to be flying through. I forgot to change to the fast quantum drive of my ship, so I'm in a 15-minute jump, and I can watch Zark Media or I can watch Jack Axton's State of Trade at the beginning of the week to see what commodities to run, stuff like that.
Heck yeah.
Yeah. And this is going way back. Like we're talking 8-10 years of gaming. But if you've ever played a little game called Gary's Mod, right? Because I played a bunch of it. And there was a custom job that you would find on some servers where you could play as a television host or a radio DJ. And I think that if we were able to implement that, not necessarily as a job, but something that, kind of like what we did for the event, like Starjump, what they were talking about, have a select few videos that are approved by CIG, have those in circulation. Maybe it could be Zark Media's reports. It could be ARC Elite Expeditionary's commercials for our org, or maybe some of the commercials that Starjump has done themselves. And then maybe do something as simple as just like personal radio channels that you can get approved for. Like, just like Nettie said, you're blasting across the verse. You've got some time to kill. You flick on the radio, and I don't know. And it's like, this is Chevy Case 107.5 flying across the verse. We've got some Blue October and some Guns N' Roses coming up, but now time for the traffic.
The program director for the People's Radio of Levski, you've got a job anytime you want one.
Thank you. Thank you. But just, I think going back to that sort of base creativity and giving people an outlet to put it in the game where it's not forcing it on people. They can turn it on and turn it off, but give them the option to absorb that media, and that you just have more immersion, more collusion.
All right, I'm gonna have to take so many drinks from this show. Immersion, fidelity, keywords flying everywhere.
The scale of this conversation. There's another one.
By the way, folks, we have on our YouTube channel, we're doing a giveaway. We're giving away a Constellation Phoenix with 10-year insurance. We're currently at 911 subscribers. We're looking to reach 1,000. And at the 1,000 subscriber, we'll be giving away. I'll be playing a video to give you more detail. But if you don't want to apply or comment on this specific video on YouTube, you want to apply to the December 2021 YouTube giveaway video. So here's more information.
Right on.
Greetings, citizens. I am Griffin Gaming RPG. I'm one of the producers of The Soul Citizen.
You still there?
And first of all, I want to say thank you to all of you who have watched us, who have chatted in our chat, who have followed, who have subscribed, and who have tweeted about The Soul Citizens. We really appreciate all the love and support that we've gotten from the Star Citizen community. And during the month of December, we're doing a special promotion. We're doing one of our first promotion giveaways on YouTube exclusively, where we're looking to move our subscribers from, I think we're at 795 to 1,000. We would love to pick up another 205 subscribers and reach the 1,000 mark for YouTube. And you can help us do that by sharing this video, by sharing our videos just in general. And of course, we're going to do a giveaway. If you'd like to be a part of that giveaway, you should you should subscribe, and you should leave a comment in this video. I know it's December 2nd when this video is going out. I should have had it done yesterday, but real life got me busy. So I'm asking that if you did chat and put a comment in the other videos, please make sure you do it in this one, and you'll be automatically entered into the giveaway. And we'll announce the winner the first week in December on our first show for Soul Citizens on our Sunday show. So subscribe, and make sure you leave a comment. You can say hi, hello, you can say good luck, you can say happy Hanukkah, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, whatever you want to say, Kwanzaa, whatever you want to share, you can share it in there, and we'll definitely let you know who the winner of this wonderful RSI Phoenix, even though I'm an Origin person, Phoenix will be. By the way, none of you Soul Citizen team members, don't put your name into this contest. Anyway, happy holidays. We look forward to seeing you guys in 2022, and we'll also see you in the verse. Take care.
Yeah, thank you for Griffin for that video. Again, this not this video that you're currently watching. This is the Cine-Makers video. We're talking about the December 21, 2021 YouTube giveaway. So comment on that one to try to win. Thank you. And with that, I want to thank all of our guests, and Jade, thank you for being here as my co-host. We have from Barely Not Monkeys, they produced Adrift. We have Roger Bushwick and Fifth, Elite Expeditionary, they produced Overclocked. We have Rex and Nettie from Starjump. For the Aegis 2951, we have Graham. From Zark Media, we produced the Lorville and Hurston videos. We have Andreas. So thank you all for coming in, and I'll put the link in quick chat for people to follow on the YouTube channel. So thank you for all that.
Thank you, man. It was
Thanks
awesome.
for having us.
Thank you,
Thanks for having us,
Fastcart.
man.
Haven't had this much fun in a long time. So thank you.
Thank
So
all
make
of
sure
you.
So make sure you follow us on Thursday show. We have us at 10 p.m. Eastern. I think that's 3 a.m. UTC. We have Soul Talk, where members of the community can stop in and talk about Soul Citizen. We normally cover ISC and other stuff that happened during the week. Next Sunday, we're doing a holiday special, Holiday Wishes. That'll be December 19th, 8 p.m. Eastern, 1 a.m. UTC. So stay tuned for that. Again, thank you, Jade, for joining me. Did you have fun, everyone?
Heck yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
I always love crafting headcanon and talking about Star Citizen.
And complaining
Yeah,
about the
there's-
camera is one of my favorite
my
things
God.
to do. So thank you.
Well, therapy
Listen,
session.
Yes.
I've been waiting for 4 years to become not only the chef on an 890, but to also have a working salvage reclaimer. But no, can't have that.
Yeah.
So we are going to raid Forest Green for our raid. So make sure you send them out our love from Soul Citizen. And with that, I just want to say peace, love, and soul. I'm going to try to raid Forest Green. I'm not sure if I can do that because I'm not the actual owner of this. Nope, I don't have permission to do that. So sorry, Forest Green.
Stinky.
Oh well. But I'm going to end the recording. So take care, everyone. Thank you for
Thanks,
joining
Fastcart.
us.
Thanks, Jade.
Okay. Bye.